All right, going live here. And tonight I will be joined with direct-to-screenwriter Rich. This is the first time that we're collabing here. And if I sound a little off, it's my allergies. Um, yeah, it's been really kicking my butt the past couple of days, but I'm here. I got my water and just waiting on Rich here. So, yeah, like I said, if I sound a little off or weird, again, it's just allergies, pollen everywhere. Pollen is kicking my butt. And yeah, so somebody's watching. Hey, Common Rider, hope you're doing well. And yeah, so you should be joining any minute now. But if anybody, okay, so we got alter ego in the house. Uh, yeah, I don't know how long we'll go here. It's up to Rich. Um, but yeah, so this is the first time that we're doing a live stream here together, and it should be fun. I did see the trailer for it. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's uh, I don't really have any comments on that. I thought I saw something about that, but I don't know what that is. Other than there's like a win. I don't know what they're doing with that. I haven't seen Blood and Honey. Maybe I can ask Rich if he's seen it, um, because I haven't seen it. Yeah, I did hear about that. They're doing a Popeye movie. Is it a new live action? Okay, it's a new live action. So I thought for years they were talking about doing like a CGI animated or like a live action hybrid. Really? I don't know about that. I don't think it's going to be dark and gritty. Does, does anybody really care about Popeye? Like Popeye now, other than the people that are in our age range. So, really, do you want Magic Mike to play Popeye? You're the only person that would campaign for that. I'm just joking, but I don't think even the new generation would care about a Popeye movie. And I remember the character, I remember the cartoon, but there's not a lot of interest in it. Hey, Bobby. I don't know who's going to, like, who would play Popeye that, I mean, whether that be Channing Tatum, but no in Hollywood, it would probably be Marky Mark or John Cena. Yeah, we were just talking about that. I don't think it's needed. Oh, wait a second. We got Rich. Hey,
Yo, what's up, man?
what's up, man? I was just rambling about this new Popeye movie. I don't know. Have you heard about this or?
Did you say Popeye?
Yeah, they're doing like a new Popeye
The
animated
Sailor
movie.
Man?
Let me see the comments. Yeah, alter ego's like get Channing Tatum to play the new Popeye, and
Wow, I had no idea. Is it like animated or is it like a real thing, like a live action?
I don't know. I don't think even people care nowadays about Popeye. I
I
mean,
don't think anyone knows who Popeye. Like my daughter doesn't know who Popeye is, and she's the target demographic, I'm sure.
yeah. But this is it's great to have you on here, man. This is the first time we're doing a live stream together.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. Are we like live now?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm so out of touch with these things. Cool. Well,
Oh, you're
sorry,
good,
I'm a
man.
few minutes late, actually. Sorry.
No problem. I feel a little unprepared because I know that you've worked on quite a few projects. I was just looking at your IMDb.
Yeah.
Um, What are some of the projects that you've worked on that people may not know about?
Well, uh, folks who watch your channel might possibly be familiar with an action star named Olivier Gruner, who
Yeah.
I did a movie with about, gosh, it's about a decade ago now when that movie came out. It was called Sector 4. It's one of the worst movies you'll ever see. It's not good. I got a million stories about the making of that one, but I worked very closely with Mr. Gruner for a long while, writing that movie and getting that movie made. Eric Roberts is in the movie. That was a thrill, but again, it's not a very good movie. But that one wound up getting distributed through Lionsgate, so it was everywhere, man. Like you couldn't. It was in every red box, and back then Blockbuster still. So that one was everywhere.
Yeah.
And now the past few years, I've been doing lots of. It's always kind of embarrassing to say, but I actually really love the genre. I've been doing lots of Lifetime Channel thrillers.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So like when I was a kid and my mom would watch Lifetime, obviously I didn't watch Lifetime Channel when I was growing up, but like when my mom would watch it back in like the 90s, Lifetime always made movies that were like dramas or like custody battles or a breast cancer kind of story.
Yeah.
But now all Lifetime does is thrillers. They're basically horror movies. Joe Bob Briggs, actually, someone asked him in an interview or on his show, someone was saying like, where's all the great like exploitation movies nowadays, the low budget exploitation stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you got to watch Lifetime Channel. That's where it all is. And I 100% agree with Joe Bob. They're all like, everything I write for them is, it's just a horror movie with no gore necessarily.
Yeah.
But they're all really fun, sometimes really dopey thrillers. I've had about 10 now, which is really cool. I have one premiering tomorrow, as a matter of fact. We can talk about that later. So I have one coming out tomorrow, and I have one coming out on Saturday. So I have 2 movies coming out in like the next 3-4 days, which is kind of nuts.
This is great timing though, because I mean, you get to talk about it here, and you got that premiering.
Yeah,
very soon.
To your millions of watchers will now be able to tune it. Yeah, exactly. And I've been doing a little bit of Tubi stuff too. Tubi's this new, like the Wild West, man. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Some of it's good, some of it's real bad. But
I was going to ask you, what do you think about the new color scheme they got going on?
I like the old one better.
Yeah,
I like
me
the
too.
old one better. Yeah, it's okay. I don't dislike it, but I like the old one better.
Okay. Yeah, sorry if I sound a little off. It's just allergies. They've been like kicking me the last couple of days here.
I have a giant cut on my lip too, so I don't know if you can see it or not. But if I'm like talking weird, it's because I got a giant. If I got like a Stallone mouth going on,
dude, I had that last week. I had like a bump right here, and it was like slanting my lip.
Yeah, that's what you're
definitely
doing.
Like Rocky. Yeah,
exactly. Am I coming through okay? By the way, my internet has been sucking. So is it looking all right now?
Yeah, you sound good, man.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure
you're there. Hey, Junebug. So how
What's
long?
up, Junebug?
How long do you want to go for? I mean, I know we haven't discussed it beforehand, but
no, it's fine. I can go for an hour and a half. I mean, how long you usually go for these types of things?
I mean, I can go for like an hour and a half. That's fine. That'll work.
Is that too long?
No, that's perfect.
If I get boring, you can say, "Oh, let's end it."
Oh, no problem. Hey, it's all good. I'm just looking at the comments.
How do I see the? There you go. You click comments. See, I'm bad at this stuff.
Hug wall. Is there any comments that you see or questions or?
Well, I didn't know about the Popeye thing. That's definitely interesting. But who cares? Like, who cares? Like, why do that? The only trailer that I've watched recently, I haven't seen this new Alien trailer, but I did watch the trailer for The Crow. And have you talked about it yet?
The new Alien trailer?
No, Crow.
Oh my God, dude. Just looks awful, man.
I think it looks so bad. Yeah.
This character looks like, the guy that hangs around the 7-Eleven and at midnight and
yeah.
And what do you think about it? I just thought it was just
I
very
think it looks beyond bland. It looks like it's so different. You may as well not even call it The Crow. Like, it's just make it its own. Why, if you're gonna change so much, why not make it its own thing?
Yeah.
Something that's not The Crow, and it just looks terrible. And I actually like some of the Crow sequels, and I love the TV show with Dacascos. So there are it is possible to do a Crow movie, a good Crow movie without Brandon Lee, even though he's the best.
Yeah, definitely.
And it just seems like because he's actually it's Eric Draven, right? It's not just another Crow. It is Eric Draven. And
Yeah, it's Eric Draven and the character of Shelley.
Yeah, so it's like, why? I don't know. I don't understand this one, and it looks so bad.
Yeah, it looks exactly what I expected. I mean, just very in one ear and out the other.
Yeah,
and it's like, why even? I mean, I know they've been talking about that for years, but I definitely agree with this.
Yeah.
I mean, do you like Bill Skarsgård as an actor, or?
I mean, I the only thing I know him from is It, and I did not care for those.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly I don't know if I've ever even seen him in anything else.
I know he was in John Wick 4, but he's the one thing that Oh, you haven't seen that? Okay.
I did not see Wick 4, probably based on what you and like Rambo Raff and all you other guys have said. It just didn't appeal to me. Even 3 kind of lost a little footing for me. I love the first one so much, and the second one I really dig too. Third one I thought was okay, but yeah, I didn't even stick around for the 4th.
Yeah, I saw the 4th one time, and I'm like, I know they're talking about a 5th one, and I'm like, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know. And you know, if I'm only going to see one movie that's the 4th recently, it had to be Expendables 4, and that was a classic.
Oh, yeah.
That was just the best Expendables movie. No, I'm kidding. That was
like,
it was. Yeah, it was embarrassing how bad that. Like, I legit felt embarrassed watching it. It was awful.
Yeah.
So
golly.
bad.
But what was the worst part for you? What would you say?
Things being, I wasn't necessarily a scene, but why so much green screen for innocuous scenes? Like, I swear there's scenes of like Stallone when he goes to visit his Statham's house, and it's green screen.
Yeah, right behind
I'm
him.
like, why? Why couldn't you? Why would you need it? You know, people complain about like no blood squibs anymore and CGI, you know, hits, you know, blood hits and all that stuff. But like when you're having to use CGI for, it was for everything. There's like everything on the ship at the end was all, you know, green screen. It just was horrible.
And Megan Fox doesn't help matters.
You know, I don't think she was the biggest problem, but like she didn't help. Like, you know, if they would made a kick-ass Expendables movie and she just happened to be in it, I'd be like, all right, it's fine. It doesn't hurt the movie necessarily. But yeah, she didn't help.
And Tony Jaa's wasted.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything. It was,
And yeah, it is just, I think it's the worst film of last year, to be honest with you. I thought The Flash was awful, but I'm like, no, this is worse.
See, I didn't even see The Flash. I'm so behind on all the
you didn't see The Flash?
No, I'm so behind on. I've given up on all of it, and I sound so bitter, but like I don't have time to watch a lot of new stuff, and when I do, I never go Marvel or DC or anything superhero. It's so inundated, and I got so sick of it, can't handle it anymore.
I'll be glad that you didn't watch The Flash. Oh, yeah. But
okay. Yeah, no, I like Final Heist was my first Tubi movie that just came out in February. It's a fun one. It was to me, it was kind of like Italian Job, a little silly. It's a heist movie, but it's a little silly. Turned out a little sillier than I thought it would, but it's fun. I think it's a really fun, silly heist movie, and yeah, it's got 4 female leads in it, and I think a lot of people thought the movie was going to be like all girl power, and it is. I like writing strong female characters when they're actually strong female characters, not just you know, stereotypes or trying to say, oh, they're female, therefore they're strong. I like writing flawed female characters, and they have strengths, they have weaknesses, and you know, it's a silly movie, but people seem to kind of dig it, and I appreciate it, Ty. Thank you.
Well, on that, I guess since you're talking about that, what is it about today? You know, you kind of just mentioned it, where they get it wrong or they're off base as far as like developing, or you know, that kind of character, like a female character.
Well, like the biggest thing for me, I remember, like, this is years and years ago. I had written a script, and there was a female character in it, and it was a kind of a romantic comedy, and the guy had all these flaws, and the girl, when I was getting notes on the screenplay, the people were really balking at the female character having all these flaws, And I'm like, well, just because they're a female doesn't mean they have to be perfect. Because I
Yeah.
guess they thought because I was a guy writing it, I was exercising some sort of anti-woman mentality. But like, no, they can be flawed just like anybody else. And I think that's why, what I do, my primary living is writing Lifetime movies. And so everything's a female lead. And
Yeah.
I have never once heard the complaint that I'm writing, stereotypical female characters. I take pieces of me and like what, or I take pieces, my wife or people I know, and you write authentic characters, and you give them flaws, and that's what I think makes a realistic character. That's what makes a strong character.
Yeah.
Especially, and I think that's what people miss a lot is they make when they're trying to be empowering, they come off a little pandering sometimes because they just make characters kind of squeaky clean and perfect and no flaws, and that's no fun to watch.
Yeah, I think it's a good point there. Like characters that are authentic and genuine.
Yeah, and they got to be. So I think we're allowed to curse, but fucked up characters.
Yeah.
They're supposed to make mistakes. Like
exactly.
Characters, people make mistakes. Women can make mistakes too, and and I think that's what makes a lot of the things I've written authentic. One of my favorite notes I have gotten, or pieces of feedback that I've gotten in the last few years, because I'm a middle-aged white dude. I'm getting old. Yeah, exactly.
I can see where this is going.
No, it's the reverse. One of the pieces of feedback I got from like the higher ups at Lifetime who are acquiring all these scripts and movies, they said like, this dude writes female dialogue really well, and I'm like, I do, because I never thought that would be the case for me. But I think it's just because I put real. Hopefully, I put something real in these characters, and that's what makes it authentic. So maybe it's not great female dialogue; it's just great dialogue, and the character happens to be female. So
since you mentioned you worked on Lifetime, and I think he's done quite a bit of these Lifetime movies. Have you ever come across Joey Lawrence?
No,
Was it Hallmark that he's on? I don't know if it's Hallmark.
He does Lifetime too. I think he directs now also.
Oh wow.
So yeah, a lot of these people that you'll see who are people of his ilk are getting into the Lifetime world because they make so much material. They make so many movies at Lifetime, and now Tubi is kind of becoming like a offshoot of Lifetime, and they've got to stock 50, 100 new original movies a year. So there's lots of stuff. So you'll see names like him, and oh god, I'm gonna embarrass myself. Why is his name escaping me? Johnny Cage from the '90s Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Lyndon Ashby.
Lyndon Ashby. He is now directing Lifetime thrillers.
Oh really?
Yeah, because his name came up like 2 or 3 movies ago when they were talking about directors. His name came up, and I was like, please let Johnny Cage, please let him direct my movie. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. But hopefully one day, Johnny Cage will direct a Lifetime thriller of mine.
Let's see.
Hey Richard, how do you deal with haters on YouTube who don't like you?
Oh, yeah, I was getting ready to show that one. I'm like, what haters?
Do people on YouTube? I was like, I didn't know I had it. This is like one of the first streams I've been on. If I've made people hate me already, that's got to be some kind of record. I mean, just in general, if you go look at any movie I've written on IMDb, there's plenty of bad reviews out there, and people call me an idiot and stuff like that. And I'm writing the movie, and you're not. So
I didn't understand the question. I mean, you seem like a cool guy, and I don't understand, like,
I hope I don't have a well, because I comment on the streams, and I've participated a little bit, like with Ty and his stuff. So hopefully, no one out there hates me. We'll see.
Yeah, because I saw you on Fabio's stream not too long ago.
That was a pre-recorded thing. Yeah, I was like, hey man, I want to do a stream, but he wasn't streaming that night, so I was like, well, let's just shoot the breeze, and he recorded it. It was a weird conversation. We talked about all the. I don't know if it wasn't a weird conversation, but I don't know if it'd be boring to anyone outside of us two. But who knows?
Yeah, Dan Schneider. Okay, I saw a little bit of this. Actually, you know what? I saw a good. I think it was like part 1 of it last night. I think it's like an episode thing going on. But do you know anything about this?
I've seen like little bits and pieces. I know it's a thing. I don't know anything about it, but I hear it's fucked up.
Yeah, because what I know about Dan Schneider is that he ran a lot of Nickelodeon in the late '90s.
Yeah.
a lot of those shows, like the Amanda Bynes show and all that, and there was some stuff going on, inappropriate stuff, and then like he did a video, and it's out there on Twitter. He has a rebuttal. Well, not a rebuttal, but like an apology video, and it's like a
Oh,
whole
really?
interview. Yeah, it's awkward.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, no, I totally would believe some disgusting stuff like that could have gone on. But I grew up watching. I mean, I was like, all that started when I think I'm probably older than you. I'm 38.
34.
I'm 38. Okay, so like
Okay.
I remember when like all that started, and Snick and all that stuff. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
it's totally possible, and it sounds messed up. So I'll have to check it out at some point.
Okay. So, what was your favorite show?
Probably was all that because I grew up like Saturday Night Live hit really big for me really young. Like I was watching that when I was so probably not allowed to be watching that. My grandma had a bunch of old taped episodes from like the Eddie Murphy, Joe Piscopo era of SNL.
Yeah.
And so when I would go to her house at like 4 or 5 years old, we would just pop in these tapes, and so inappropriate. And the show used to be so much racier than it is now. Like
Yeah.
it's funny how we've moved backwards in terms of where you can go with comedy. But yeah, I grew up watching SNL, so that was a huge thing for me. So when the kid version of SNL came out with all that, that was probably my favorite. I really dug all that.
I kind of man. I think Are You Afraid of the Dark really.
That was a big one too. I love
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
I remember like I would stay up to like, and like I think I was watching Snick because that was at night, right?
Saturday night. It was like their Saturday night block. Yeah.
Yeah, and my parents would get on me for staying up and watching that because I would get nightmares.
There were some twisted episodes, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, now, like I said, I saw part one of it, and that's like 45 minutes
Where
long.
is it?
It's called Quiet on the Set.
But like, where do you watch it? Is it like free, or is it like on one of them streaming?
Let me see if it's on YouTube because I watched like a whole episode on Twitter or X.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me see if it's on. No, I can't find the whole thing on YouTube, but if you have an X account or Twitter account,
Yeah, I'll find it. If it's
uh,
on there, that'd be cool.
yeah, I did watch it on there, and it's like, especially with the Amanda Bynes stuff, which I don't think they've gotten to yet, but they did talk about a little bit. And I mean, God, I mean, look at her, what happened to her?
Yeah. No, yeah, it's nuts because like there was that little pocket in the mid 2000s where she was no longer doing like the kiddie stuff, but she was doing like what's the one with Channing Tatum, where she dresses up like a
Was
wolf.
it
What was that called?
Kicking and Screaming? Is that it? No.
No, that was a wolf. Whatever that movie's called. She's the Man.
She's the Man. Yeah. Okay.
There
I've
you
never
go.
seen it.
So I mean, it's not. Don't race out and go, rent it. But like for what it was at that time, it was a fine, stupid little movie, and yeah, she was good, and she probably could have been something much bigger than what she wound up being. Yeah.
Yeah. Dan Schneider's disgusting. I agree.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it.
So okay, I mean, I think the big thing that a lot of people are talking about now, which we haven't seen a trailer yet, but they've released a couple of pictures of Beetlejuice 2. Do you have any thoughts on that, or?
I mean, no. I mean, I didn't grow up with like reverence for the movie. I saw the movie kind of late. I saw the cartoon a lot. The cartoon was a big mainstay in my household when I was young, back in that wonderful era where they would make children's cartoons out of totally inappropriate for children movies. Like,
I have a question. Was that on Nickelodeon? Because I remember, I think
rerun. They would repeat it on Nickelodeon.
Okay, that's what I remember.
I'm pretty sure it was on ABC Kids, like ABC or ABC, just ABC, their Saturday morning cartoon block.
Okay.
I think, if I remember right, because it used to always be on after Ghostbusters, at least for me, where I lived. So it'd be like Ghostbusters and Beetlejuice back to back, and that was a hell of a double feature. Yeah.
I remember the cartoon. Like I don't think it ran long either.
No, I don't think it did either. But I had the toys, and so I love the cartoon, and the movie's it's a good movie. It's a fun. I don't put it on often these days, so I don't know how well a sequel is gonna do. Apparently, didn't Michael Keaton just come out and say he saw like a cut and said it was good? Like he was like,
Yeah,
yeah, it was really good. So
yeah. Like apparently there's an emotional part in it, or some kind of element, or like there's a backstory to Beetlejuice. I've heard that too.
because that's what I want out of a Beetlejuice sequel. It's heart and emotion. Yeah, it's gonna be. So I don't know. It could be good. Every now and then there's something that surprises you, like Beverly Hills Cop. As I just told you, I grew up idolizing Saturday Night Live and comedy and Eddie Murphy. Beverly Hills Cop has been. It goes back and forth as my favorite or second favorite movie, basically since I was like 5 years old. I love that movie. And when I heard they were making this new one, after all the decades of they're going to make a fourth, they're not going to make a fourth, and finally they put out that trailer, and I thought it was going to be so bad. And I really dig that trailer.
Yeah.
I really think there's a chance Beverly Hills Cop 4 will be good. I'm still nervous. It could be shit, but that trailer impressed me. It looks good.
Okay, so I have to admit something right here. I have the first three in a Blu-ray pack. I've only seen like a little bit of the first movie, but I really haven't seen any of them.
You gotta you gotta. As soon as we're done with this stream, you gotta go watch.
You know what? I might do that. I don't have to be in at work tomorrow early, so maybe I could do that after the stream.
The first one is just. I mean, it's to me, it's the funniest movie I've ever seen in my life. I've seen that movie without exaggerating. I've seen it hundreds of times, and it still makes me laugh. 2 is just an amazing action movie. I don't really think it's a comedy. I think they definitely went action over comedy for that one. And the third one's, I still like it, but it's bad. But it's bad. But it's worth watching once, I guess.
That's what I've heard. Actually, I'm trying to think. I would say the first Eddie Murphy film that I remember watching was The Nutty Professor. But that was like I have knowledge of Beverly Hills Cop and The Golden Child and Coming to America and Harlem Nights or whatever. But
I saw Nutty Professor in theaters with my grandma. That we bonded over Eddie Murphy. That was our shared thing. Was whenever there was an Eddie Murphy thing, we would go see it. We also saw I think the last thing we saw together that was Eddie Murphy was that movie Holy Man, which is
oh gosh.
Oh man, that one's bad. I think that would have been like the year after Nutty Professor.
What was that, 97, 98?
I think that was 97 because then The Clumps was like 2000.
2000?
Yeah. But yeah, we had a shared love of Eddie Murphy. And I watched like Eddie Murphy Raw with her, which is
oh my
so
God.
inappropriate for like a 5-6-year-old, but whatever.
You can't see me. Yeah, I'll definitely will. Maybe this weekend because it's gonna rain.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be inside.
There you go. But
so
you saw the trailer for the fourth one, right?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. Yeah, the trailer for the fourth one. So
okay.
Is there anything else? I mean, as far as movies you look forward to this year?
I mean, Beverly Hills Cop is the main one. I don't know what I can't remember what else is coming out. I mean, I will see The Crow because the first Crow movie meant so much to me. It's a very influential movie in my life, and even this. Have you seen all the Crow movies?
I love the first one, City of Angels. I'm not too big on.
I can't do it. I hate
it. You hate it too?
Yeah, I know people like it's weird. It's flip flops because back when it came out, no one liked it, and now it's got like its following, and people say it's actually pretty good, and I still just hate it. I can't do.
Yeah, I just Vincent Perez is just.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. Just.
I like the third one though. Have you seen?
Was it Salvation?
Salvation with the guy, I forget his name, Eric Mabius, I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
That one's okay.
Okay.
Kirsten Dunst, that's right. Yeah,
Kirsten
before
Dunst,
she was it's okay. It's not the worst. The worst is probably the Edward Furlong.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, that one was that's hard to sit through that one. But yeah, I like the third one. It's okay. And then the TV show. If you ever get a chance to check out some episodes of the TV show, you should see
now, is the TV show on YouTube? I mean, because I thought at one time it was.
I think it was on Tubi like a couple of years ago because I know I watched a few episodes somewhere. I have the DVD set, which is like apparently super out of print and expensive now. But if you can track it down in any way, you should watch a couple episodes of the series at least because it's a fun one.
Oh, okay. This is an interesting question.
Oh, I mean, I'm never on set. Like I make it a point to. I live in Las Vegas. I hate California. I really don't like LA. So I've gone to a few sets just because. But like sometimes they'll offer like, hey, do you want to come to set? And I'm like, I'm good. No, I just don't like going out there. So I know nothing of production. I know nothing of how the hierarchy of the crew works. If you ask me what a gaffer does, I probably would give you a wrong definition. So I don't know much about that, but I would say, the way I was raised as a person and the way I would handle weapons would, whether it's on a film set or not, is probably very strict. And it sounds like that's not what was going on with that. I don't know much about that story, but obviously, shit wasn't done right and horrible and someone's fault. And I think, I don't know, I shouldn't say specific.
The Armorer got like 3 years.
Yeah. And I heard Alec Baldwin's getting some done again. So, I mean, yeah, it's their faults. And I'm bear more weight than, but yeah, it's terrible. Terrible, terrible.
Yeah. Fabio.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Broad Stipe. How's it going?
What's up?
Live action Hercules being canceled.
I didn't even know there was going to be one, but all these again. I think I saw the Lion King live action remake. I know that I don't care. Like, why? I don't like. I was never a big Disney kid anyway, but like, why are they doing? It's such a stupid idea to me. I'm sure they're making money, but
yeah, the only live action Hercules. I keep thinking about Young Hercules with Ryan Gosling that was on back in the day.
Yeah.
The only Hercules to me is Kevin Sorbo,
which I watched religiously when I was younger. So I agree with you.
Yeah, same here. Let's see. Disney canceled Eternals 2. We look good.
I have not seen Eternals. I haven't seen any Captain Marvels. I didn't know there were 3 Ant-Men. Like, see, I sound like an old man. Like, I didn't know there was this. I saw the first Ant-Man. Out of all those that you just listed, that's the only one I saw. And I enjoyed it for what it was, but that was like 10 years ago. So yeah, no interest in the sequel.
Song of the South remake. Zach D, hey.
What's up?
When is Mel Gibson going to make a Hercules movie? Maybe back in the day would have been cool.
Yeah. Now he's doing, these like direct-to-video thrillers. He's doing kind of like the Bruce Willis level stuff.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson. I keep seeing. I did see the one where he's like a radio DJ. It was like a thriller. That one was actually pretty good. Like,
what was that called? On the Line or something?
Yeah, On the Line. And I thought it was okay. It was pretty good. But yeah, it's a tiny little. And then there was one also where he's like on a. Well, there's it's not him, but he's a cop, and there's some guy with like a bomb in on a chair.
You're gonna make me go on IMDb.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, it's the stupidest premise, but it was, again, I was like, this isn't horrible. It was fine.
Hot Seat.
No. Hot Seat. There you go.
Was that it? Okay.
That was it. That's the one with the bomb in the chair.
Okay. So why do you think, I mean, I know Mel Gibson's not as big as he used to be, but is that why he's doing a lot of these direct-to-video movies? Or
I would imagine. Yeah, I mean, I know Bruce Willis had his health issues, but I think he started doing those movies maybe around, I don't think it was a direct result of the health issues, but yeah, that's become like the direct-to-video action genre is not what it was when I was growing up, which was like what I talked to Fabio about, where you had PM Entertainment and you had all these names of Don the Dragon Wilson, Gary Daniels, all these guys who could lead a movie. Now those guys don't exist anymore, so it's like all the, it's the Bruce Willises, it's the Mel Gibsons, are doing these movies, and it's weird. It's weird to
Yeah.
see guys as big as they are do that kind of thing. It's very
And
odd.
Travolta too.
Yeah, yeah, he does a million of them. Also, he does a
Yeah,
ton of them.
because there was like I saw a thumbnail or something for a new Travolta movie that is direct to video, and I'm like, man, what happened to Travolta?
Yeah.
Uh, that's good.
Yep.
All classics.
All awesome.
Uh, Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
I mean, I remember seeing Team America opening night, and it was just like one of the best theater experiences of my life, because it was for that era. You know, those guys were comedy gods, and you know, a really, really awesome, fun experience. Even their low budget stuff. I love Cannibal the musical. Their first little effort they did. So yeah, I love those guys. I would love to see them.
And they directed the basketball. Is that what they did?
No,
Okay.
well, they just acted in it. They didn't.
Oh,
direct.
that's right.
Yeah, but it's still. I mean, it's not a classic, but that one's pretty good too.
And
yeah,
by
Bobby
the
was
way,
right. Their names, like the names of Mel Gibson and Bruce Willis, sell huge over. I mean, still here too. Like you see these movies get like giant releases on DVD, and every grandpa, you know, who's at Walmart sees, oh, Bruce Willis, and then they'll go buy it for whatever it is to buy a Lionsgate direct to DVD movie these days. So yeah, they're still huge, marketable. I totally get why they're doing it, and it's awesome and good for them, and they're making money doing it. And as I've mentioned on other platforms, like I love the blue collar approach to acting. You know, Eric Roberts was in my first movie, and a lot of people, maybe he's a joke to some people, but I think I love what he does. He just works. He works, and I kind of maybe.
I was going to ask you about Eric Roberts, but real quick, I don't know if anybody heard out there, but M. Emmett Walsh has passed away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from I mean, he was in a bunch of movies, you know, Fletch.
Yeah. When today?
Blade Runner. Yeah, I just looking at his IMDb here because I know he's done. He's kind of like the Harry Dean Stanton. I mean, The Jerk. He was in Blade Runner, Critters. He was in Knives Out recently.
Oh, I didn't know. See, I didn't see Knives Out, but
I think he was in Missing in Action, from what I remember. Let me see here. I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff.
How old was he?
88, 89.
That's a good run, though.
And but back to Eric Roberts real quick. So what was your experience like with Eric Roberts? I know you mentioned a little bit, but
yeah, on that movie, you know, for anyone who's seen Sector 4 would know it's weird. It had a budget, like it had a decent little budget, but it was just misused in a lot of ways. And so not a lot of the budget's on screen. So a lot of it was like guerrilla filmmaking and just filming, you know. I live in Vegas. Gruner at the time lived in Vegas. And so, you know, he would just film B-roll of the desert. He would just drive to the desert, and I'd be in his truck with him, and he would be like, hey, point the camera out the window. I'm holding like a $30,000 red camera because it's just me and him. And he's like, let's just go to the desert and film B-roll. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I was there through, 80% of that movie being made. But when they got Eric Roberts, which they had thrown out some other names too, and Eric Roberts was the one they went with. They wanted to film that in LA to look as professional as possible. So they rented this nice little office because he's like the commander of this mercenary team and blah, blah, blah. So they wanted to film it in this office. And it was like one of the very few days I didn't get to go to, which sucked because I would love to have met Eric Roberts. But there was an extra copy of the script laying around. So someone asked him to sign it for me. And I have it somewhere in my garage where he wrote like, hey, Richard, where the F are you? But he doesn't curse, I guess, in real life. So he wrote, where the F are, like in parentheses, F are, were you? Thanks for having me, or something. Thanks for writing a great script, Eric Roberts. Or thanks for including me in your script. Something like that. And so I have it, and so it was really cool that he did that. So he's a super nice guy from what I hear. I just didn't get to meet him, but it was a thrill because I grew up, you know, Best of the Best is, you know, I watched that movie so many times. when I was younger. So to have that guy in a movie I wrote was amazing.
And that's another film that I still have to watch. That's on my to watch list.
Which one? Best of the Best?
Yeah, best of the best. Yeah.
I thought you were saying Sector 4. I'm like, you can leave that off your list, dude. You don't need to watch Sector 4.
Man, Olivia Gruner, I think the only thing that I've seen of his is Automatic.
That's his best one. Yeah, man. I grew up, I was a colossal fan of that guy because I grew up, like I just said, 90s direct-to-video action was my thing. And so I was an enormous fan of that guy. So he and I didn't end on the best of terms, but getting to make a movie with him or for him, writing a script for him was a thrill because that dude, I love Automatic. Nemesis is good. Angel Town is good, but Automatic is my favorite movie of his. It's very silly, but it's a fun one.
Okay, so I mean, if you don't mind me asking, what did happen, or is it something you don't? We don't have to talk about it, but
no, I get. I mean, it just didn't. He toward the end, I wasn't being paid for what I was doing for him anymore. He would keep asking for me to write things and not ever pay me. And I was young, and I live in Vegas, so it's not like I have many other opportunities, and I've always wanted to be a screenwriter. And at that point, that was the only break I had ever gotten, was writing stuff for this Olivier Gruner, who lived in Las Vegas. And so it was just kind of a hard decision to be like, man, this is like my one opportunity, it seemed at the time. What do I want to step away from this? Because am I throwing away my only opportunity to write movies? Because this has always been my dream. But it got so bad after a while that it was kind of like, yeah, I think I got to step away from this dude. And there was a little disagreement at one point, and then that was kind of it. He cut me a check for the last thing I wrote for him. I did not get credit on that movie, which is still kind of a sore subject for me. So technically, I wrote 2 Olivier Gruner movies, but the second one doesn't have my name anywhere on there, even though I wrote it. And like characters are named after my friends and my brother, but he claimed he wrote it, and I'm like, I don't think. It's like anyone who sees that movie, which you should never. That movie it's called Executive Protection. It never even got released in America. It got released in like France and overseas, a couple places where he's a big bankable name still.
Yeah.
But it never came out here, so no one's really even seen that movie. But we ended on bad terms, and I was upset over that.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's all bullshit. Who cares? it all worked out. Hey, I'm not to be a dick, but I make more movies now than Olivier Gruner does. So not to sound pompous, but I kind of won that one. So no.
I was going to ask, is he still making stuff? I mean,
I don't think so. I don't think he does anymore.
Let me see. Yeah, I know it's on my to watch list.
Even man, 1 and 2 are great. I even like the later sequels without Eric Roberts, so you should check them out.
It doesn't he like, what was it that a film that he did back in the day, and maybe you can help me with this, where it's like he'll accept everything, like Eric Roberts. He does. I mean, look at his IMDb, and he does like a plethora of movies. I mean, there was a story behind that. I mean, like it was a movie that he did with Mickey Rourke, wasn't it? Back in the day. Damn it.
They've done a few together, I think. Oh, are you talking Pope of Greenwich Village?
Yeah, I think that was it. I don't know. Yeah, something.
Yeah, and I mean that's a classic. That's a classic movie, and he was an Academy Award nominee for Runaway Train.
Okay.
Supporting actor. So he was a legit actor. He made a movie. It's a drama, but my God, it's a great movie called "It's My Party," from like the '90s during like the AIDS crisis, and he's a guy dying of AIDS in the movie, and it's the most gut-wrenching drama you'll ever see. And it's Eric Roberts, and he's an incredible actor. So yeah, he's the man. But now it's just the guy likes to work, so pay him whatever his fee is. I don't even know what it is, probably, but
yeah.
If you want him to show up in your wedding video, I'm sure he would if you paid him. He just he'll show up. And God bless.
I think there's one movie that he did called Ambulance.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Okay.
That is a really great one.
Is your dog an Eric Roberts fan?
Yeah, my dog's going crazy for Eric Roberts. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. Oh no, I actually have that movie as part of like a Mickey Rourke 3-pack, and that's in there. Is it Prayers for the Dying? I think that's another Mickey Rourke movie, and another one.
Okay, yeah.
Really, Popeye's Chickens is filing for bankruptcy.
Is that true?
I have no idea.
Never heard of that. And I forgot. That's right. Fabio's met Eric Roberts. That's what he was saying. Forgot about that. Well, I'm scrolling through. Junebug said Sector 10 should be coming out soon. Yes, I will definitely be developing a sequel to Sector 4. Sector 5 coming soon. Yes, I'll do all the sectors, man. And then the prequels, Sectors 1, 2, and 3.
Hey, Alex. 724 credits. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
Just looking up movie news here. But yeah, people in the chat, keep asking questions. We're just kind of hanging around.
Junebug says, when I get big and famous, I should buy the rights to the Olivia Gruner movie back. I should. That'd be great. And then I'll do like a commentary track on the DVD.
Is there any
expose?
Is there anybody that you would like to meet? I mean, as far as like,
I still meet, like, in terms of like write something for, or like,
yeah.
Man, I remember when I was in film school, and this would be the mid 2000s, so like during the direct-to-video era of Steven Seagal. But again, growing up loving action movies like I did, and like at the beginning of every film class, they would say, "What are your ambitions in the film industry?" And everybody wanted to be the next Steven Spielberg. I would always be like, "I want to write the next Steven Seagal movie. Like that's all I want to do." Like, even
Did
if
you really say that?
Oh my! But again, at the time, he wasn't as big of a joke as he is now, and I know he's a complete piece of garbage. But oh, dude, I idolized that guy growing up. I would maybe not a Steven Seagal movie, but I still think I have a great action, direct-to-videos, throwback style action movie in me, and I would love to write that. I'm just not in that genre right now because I'm.
You should be like, yeah, I can make sense of The Foreigner.
Yeah. Exactly. So no, I would love to work with any, one of those action guys would be a huge thrill. I worked with Gruner, like I said, that was a thrill, but I would love to work with more of those action guys. That would be really cool. Jeff Speakman lives in Las Vegas. I'd love to do something with Jeff Speakman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, is he retired pretty much, or I mean,
he has a bunch of Fabio knows, but he has a bunch of studios throughout Vegas, or at least 2 that I know of. But I think he's kind of headquartered out of Vegas. His Kenpo 5.0 system that he created, right, Fabio? Yeah. I don't know if he created it or if he's just if it's an updated version of Kenpo. I don't know what it is. But
nobody can make sense of The Foreigner.
Even that movie, I remember when it came out, I totally dug that. I was aware it was bad, but I would watch it often, even though it ain't great. But yes, Speakman's in town. I would love to do something with him. That'd be fun.
Do you have a favorite Seagal movie?
I mean, Hard to Kill is probably my favorite, but I really like the late theatrical era. I love Glimmerman and Fire Down Below. Those are 2 of my favorites. I don't know if they're his best, but those are probably the ones I've watched the most in the last few years. But Hard to Kill is probably my overall favorite.
I mean, my answer is obvious, but I have to go with Under Siege. Actually, yeah, that's his best, and I would say my favorite is Out for Justice.
That's up there too, man. That's one that I watched a lot when I was younger.
Yeah. Kenpo 5.0 is his update.
There you go.
Hey, DJ. Are you into anime?
Not at all. Not even a little bit. I can't do it. I don't know why.
Yeah, same here.
Go ahead.
I was like, the last anime I was ever into was Pokemon, and that was, when it, 1999, whatever.
Yeah. No, I mean, when I was in middle school and Pokemon like kind of first hit, and yeah, of course, I like that, I guess. But other than that, but no, I have a buddy who I went to high school with, and he moved out to LA to be an actor, and now he's a voice actor, and does a ton of anime and just any kind of animation. I just heard recently he's Cyclops in this new X-Men movie. or this new X-Men series that's a spinoff of the '90s X-Men. He's
Oh, the
voice of Cyclops.
97?
Yeah, he's the voice of Cyclops in it, and which is crazy to me. I don't know if that show's good or not, but the fact that I was buddies with Cyclops in high school is kind of cool. But he does a lot of anime, so I've tried every now and then to like just watch stuff that he does voices in, just to hear a friend and support him. But
Do you have any thoughts on that? The new the continuation of the X-Men series?
I was never super into the. I mean, I watched the '90s one a lot when I was younger, but I wasn't like a super fan. So no, I know nothing of this. I know zero about this new one.
Yeah.
So no. No, I haven't. I got hired. I had a year script and another script that someone sent me to read, and I had nothing going on. I was like, okay, I'll get to these probably in the next week or so. But I got hired on like Friday of last week to write something else. So I'm going to be real busy the next, because they gave me 3 weeks to do the first draft, which is it's killer. Usually it's like 6. So my life is over for the next 3 weeks. So I have not, but I promise you I will. And when I say I will, I will. I promise.
I think that's Eric, right? Because him and June, they have a show
Yeah.
that they do. Okay.
Yeah. I did an interview thing with them a month or 2 ago.
And that's another movie that I still
I love Collision Course. Yeah.
It's such a odd pairing, but it seems like a fun movie.
It's a very odd pairing, but yeah, I put it up there, man. It's a good one. It's definitely worth finding.
Is this even a question? Well, wait. Actually, I got him confused. I thought he meant hard to kill. I'm like,
me too. Okay, yeah. Wait. Okay. Now the question makes sense. Yeah. The answer is still Out for a Kill, though. I somewhat dig that movie.
Yeah, I mean, both are awful, but I'd rather take Out for a Kill because have you seen Moscow Heat?
I did when it came out because I didn't know what it was, like how bad it could be. It had a pretty sweet DVD cover, if I remember right. So I remember renting it when it came out, and yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. Well, maybe I haven't really done anything. I really want to start doing stuff on YouTube though, but I haven't. I've done now this is my first time being on like a stream, I think. But I've done the thing with Fabio. I did an interview with Ty. So kind of in your guys' little group, which I've been watching all of you guys for for years. I found Rambo Raff literally in 07, 08.
Yeah, same here.
Old channel. Yeah. And so then I kind of discovered Fabio probably about a decade ago, and I lingered. I never commented or said anything really until probably about 3 years ago or something like that. And now I'm so I would love to start doing stuff on my own channel, and we'll do it. See where that goes, but I haven't done anything yet.
Now you're gonna check out this new Ghostbusters movie.
I mean, it does look. I will say it looks better than the last. I hated the last one so much. So much. Like every choice they made in that movie, I thought was wrong. The tone of it, having the kids be the fun, just everything about it was just wrong and bad and exploitative. With having Egon in it, having Harold Ramis in it, I thought that was emotionally manipulative to use him in the movie. Yeah, exactly. So I hated it. But this one, I will say, it looks better. It still looks bad, and it's just. I never thought I would get to the age or a time where I would look at Bill Murray and the guys, all the original Ghostbusters back in, Ernie Hudson. They're all there, and you see them in their uniform, and it just looks so pathetic. Yeah, it's just they all look like they would rather be anywhere else, and except Ernie Hudson. He just seems like he's such a nice, happy dude in everything he does. He's a great actor.
That guy, I hear he's well, first of all, he never ages.
No,
but I hear he works out he's on top of his workouts and exercise and stuff.
He looks great. They're all older now, but Dan Aykroyd and whatever. But it just looks so sad and pathetic. But I like that it looks like an actual Ghostbusters movie, not like a Stranger Things kiddie movie. So I'm intrigued. I don't think it'll be good, but I'll see it.
Here's another one.
Oh, sorry, Fob, you just
Oh
reminded
yeah.
me. That's right. I was on a stream with Matt and Mike. That's right. Because I
Oh
saw.
yeah. Okay.
I forgot about that. Yeah, the day I took my daughter to see Mutant Mayhem, and it was so bad and so miserable, and not just like
Oh
I want
yeah.
to.
I've always like, yeah, I did. Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, and and not just being bitter. I understand that there are many iterations of the Turtles. Some of those iterations may not be for me. I'm now almost 40. There are the Michael Bay movies. They were more for the teenage audience and stuff like that. This was very clearly a Ninja Turtles movie made for the little kids. I have a little kid. I got a 5-year-old. She is the target audience. So I'm like, okay, this may not be the Turtles for me, but I have to be objective. And if it's if it entertains a 5-year-old and that's its goal, then it works. It's not
Yeah.
for me, but it works. And I would totally be willing to say that, except for the fact my daughter was so bored, she like couldn't wait to get out of there. And I'll never forget, during the climax, the little kid behind me, who was like a 5-6-year-old boy, during the big epic battle, he turned to his dad and said, "Can we go, please?" Like they just wanted to go. And so it didn't even entertain its target audience. So that's to me why it was a complete failure. I knew from the beginning it wouldn't be for me, and that's okay. There can be a kids version of the Turtles, but it didn't even work for the kids. So to hell with that movie. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it.
I think my nephew watched it. I think I've seen like 20 minutes of it because of my nephew. He's 7. And I think he liked it, but it just, I'm like, I'm not watching this. I'm leaving the room.
It's embarrassingly bad. Sorry, really quick. Movie, TV show, and video game fan says he's going to go watch Hard Target and Silent Night again. So Hard Target's one of my favorites, man. Enjoy. I haven't seen Silent Night yet, but enjoy Hard Target.
I know Silent Night's on Blu-ray. The Hard Target's a classic.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that one of the I remember. Well, I don't know. I don't really remember, but like one thing that she does in the movie is that she pukes or vomits.
That's her character arc, that she vomits. Yeah. So yeah, no, it was just they're just gross people. They're obnoxious kids. The turtles are obnoxious. April's obnoxious. It's just they're all nothing enjoyable or likable about them whatsoever. So yeah.
And we talked a little bit earlier about Beetlejuice too. Did you see the new picture of Keaton as Beetlejuice?
No, I don't think so. Can you pull it up?
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
I'm scrolling back to the messages to see if I missed anything.
I'll screen share it. I'll screen pop it real quick. If you see any questions, yeah, I mean, feel free to.
How many? It looks like Alex Movie Collector asked something about like, have I ever written anything that didn't get produced? I wrote that second Gruner movie that doesn't have my name on it. That kind of counts, but yeah, that's the thing with being a screenwriter. Between Sector 4 and my first like kind of Lifetime stuff happening, there's about 8-9 years of nothing. But just because nothing was getting made didn't mean I wasn't writing. So yeah, I have dozens of scripts that I've written that just go nowhere. But I've also been involved in some projects. I haven't ever been fired necessarily, but there's been some times where they bring on other writers to rewrite, or I'm the writer they bring on to rewrite someone else. So yeah, there's always stuff like what you're saying.
Now, guys, I still want to see that movie.
I haven't seen it. But yeah, I'm excited. That sounds amazing. Like from what I've heard and read about it, that's totally something I think I'll like.
And so I got the picture right here, so I'll get your raw reaction to. Here we are.
See, to me, like it looks. Mine again. I didn't grow up loving the Beetlejuice. It wasn't a big thing for me, like Ghostbusters was. But that just looks kind of embarrassing to me. I don't think that looks great at all. I don't know. What do you think? To me, that looks kind of like Michael Keaton is 78 and lonely, and on Halloween he dressed up like that, and that's how he greets the trick-or-treaters at his door. It looks kind of pathetic.
Grandpa Beetlejuice.
Yeah. But then all the kids at the door will be like, "What's Beetlejuice? We don't know what this is."
Because, yeah, I mean,
this is I don't know. I don't think that looks good, but
There you have
are
it.
you excited for it?
I mean, I'll see the. Okay, I love the original movie, and I will watch the teaser trailer, but it's just something I have a bad feeling about it because Tim Burton for me hasn't really directed anything great since Sleepy Hollow,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. Maybe I don't know if you feel differently or
Tim Burton?
yeah.
I hate Tim Burton, and the only movie of his that I love is Ed Wood. I am not a Tim Burton fan at all.
Really?
No, I don't like him at all.
Not even Batman, Michael
No,
Keaton.
okay, I guess Batman, yeah, Pee-wee, you
Yeah,
know,
Pee Wee's Play.
but
Yeah.
those to me don't feel like okay, I'll put it this way. When it's a Tim Burton movie, meaning he really puts his stamp on it, I usually always hate it. If it's too Burtonized. I hate the whole thing of style over substance. Maybe it's because I enjoyed like the writing side of things. But to me, like if you watch, and it happens with like Tarantino too, not to the same extent, but like when you watch a Tarantino movie, you can watch 3 seconds and know it's a Tarantino movie just by how it looks. Same deal with Tim Burton, but I just hate his aesthetic. I hate his visuals. I don't like his storytelling. But Batman, like I said, I don't think that's a Tim Burton first movie. That's a Batman movie that he just happened to helm. And yeah, Batman Returns are fine. I do like those. I did grow up with those, but I love Ed Wood. That's the only movie of his where like I just really dig it.
Yeah, I mean Ed Wood's a great one. I love Batman Returns. Edward Scissorhands. It's like I've seen that enough times. I don't need to watch it again.
Yeah, I can't see it again. That was one of the biggest movies of my childhood. Not for me, but like everyone loved that movie, and I just kind of never got it.
Yeah.
Really quick, Alex Movie Collector did say something about Cynthia Rothrock. I don't know.
Let's see, get back to
which movie he mentioned.
Yeah, I saw that. Let's see, where is it? Sworn to Justice.
Oh, Sworn to Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, she's amazing, and I have said this to many people that I work with in the Lifetime stuff. My stated goal is to get Cynthia Rothrock in a Lifetime movie playing like a badass role. I totally think she could do that and maybe get a little action in a Lifetime movie. Like playing.
I haven't seen anything with her.
You've never seen anything with Cynthia Rothrock?
Nope. I just only have heard about her through YouTube and the community up here that we have. But
if you look up, PM Entertainment, right? You've heard, yeah. Look up PM Entertainment, and anything that she did that was released through them is probably a good. Unless you want to go with like her Hong Kong stuff, but most of the things she did in the '90s were pretty good. I love Cynthia Rothrock.
I think the only thing I've seen of PM Entertainment is Zero Tolerance. Robert Patrick.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Have you experienced the Mandela effect?
Is that where like you
thought Sinbad was the genie?
I saw that kind of going around. No, but even I saw that. I'm like, that's not a movie. But yeah, I'm sure I have.
Is it? I want to get that on Blu-ray, Ed Wood. Is it on Blu-ray?
I don't know. I only have the DVD, but I didn't know it was a bomb. But it's one of the very first screenplays I ever read, because they like published the screenplay as a book that you could buy, and I think I got it from my library, and it was one of the first screenplays I ever read. So it's kind of what made me fall in love with like the format of screenwriting. So yeah, I love that movie for a million reasons.
Now, is that your favorite Johnny Depp movie, or is there another one?
I mean, it may be. I love Ed Wood, so it may be in my top 10 of all time. So I think by default it would be my favorite Johnny Depp movie. Yeah, I think it would.
Oh wow.
Yeah, sorry, and he's so good in it too.
No, I was gonna say, like, I would say probably my favorite of his is Gilbert Grape.
I like that movie a lot too.
But he's done so many, great movies.
Alex Movie Collector said, "Do I have any unproduced scripts with me?" Yeah, man, they're all on my laptop, man. I've written more things that haven't been made than most people you'll ever meet. Absolutely, but that's what you got to do. It's a numbers game. You got to keep writing, and hopefully one sticks eventually. So yeah, I got plenty of unproduced ones. But my favorite script I've ever written has not been made yet, but I just recently got someone to read it who really likes it, who's a producer, and it's around like the Tubi movie budget, which is higher than a Lifetime movie, but still not a blockbuster by any means.
Yeah,
At the movie that could be done very inexpensively, and it's my favorite thing ever written. So I'm hoping my favorite unproduced script will hopefully be made in the next little bit. Maybe
that'd be cool.
I would give anything for it. It's my dream project, man. Did I? Sorry, now I'm just running the show.
Oh no, you go. Man. Hey, have you seen it? Like I said, if you see any questions, pop at you. I mean, feel free to.
Eric asked if I grew up with the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. The 2 cartoons from the 90s were big for me, and the Archie comics. I had like the first like issue 1 through 50-ish of the Archie comics. I loved the Sonic comics. I never played the games because we were too poor to own a Sega. So I never played the games, but I watched the comic or the cartoons, and I have tons of the Archie comics. Absolutely.
Did you like the movies? They came out?
I haven't seen them, but I hear they're okay, right?
Yeah, I like the first one. I haven't seen the second one yet, and I know they just wrapped the third one.
Yeah. So I mean, I will see them eventually, and they look fine. They don't look terrible.
Yeah, I never had a Genesis. I never had a Sega Genesis back in the day. I mean, it was always I had an NES.
Yeah.
But that was it.
I had an NES, and I didn't get another system until the 64. That was it. Nothing in between, and then nothing really too much after. Alex, the movie collector, said something about that Superman Lives. Yeah, I saw that documentary. It's an awesome documentary they made about the crumbling of that movie.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Be glad you didn't see the Nicolas Cage Superman cameo in The Flash.
Yeah. Oh wait, Common Rider. Yeah, Ray Chase. How'd you know? Oh, because I said he did the voice of Cyclops. Yeah, Ray Chase. That's my buddy.
Yeah.
He was his big claim to fame a couple years ago was, I don't know anything about games, but he was in Final Fantasy 14, 15, 17, one of those.
Oh wow.
And he was the voice of the main character, and that was like his big claim to fame. Now he's a superstar for the voice acting community, so I'm very happy for him.
So I mean, I know this is kind of a generic question for me, but like, what are some of your favorite directors?
I go with what I grew up with, man, and again, it's the action genre. My all-time favorite director is Isaac Florentine, who did a lot of kind of very Hong Kong style American direct-to-video action movies. He did the oh god, I can't remember the name. The movie with Wesley Snipes, but then they made a bunch of sequels with like Michael J. White.
Oh,
why can't I remember? Undisputed, yeah.
Okay.
He did the Undisputed sequels, Ninja 2, Cold. He did an Olivier Gruner movie, as a matter of fact.
Oh yeah.
So he's a really great Hong Kong kind of style director, but Americanized. So I really like him. I mean, Die Hard's my favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to go. I love Rennie Harlin. I did Die Hard 2, and even his bad movies I tend to like. So, but yeah.
Oh well, golly, you mentioned Rennie Harlin, and I couldn't help but think about Gina Davis, and because she's in. Have you seen her? Like, what's going on lately with
No.
Gina Davis? Okay,
No.
so apparently, I don't know which convention is it, but there was like a photo op with Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis, and some poor schmuck paid for the photo op, and there's like a barrier between. Yeah, I
This
can
is recent?
What?
This isn't like in 2020. This is like now.
This is recent because like it was getting a lot of buzz on social media, and people are like, "What the heck?" So if I could find a picture, I'll screen share that again. But
Please, I have not heard of this, but
okay, yeah, I got it.
is it because of like COVID issues? Like, is that what their logic is?
Okay, so here's what it says right here with the picture. This is on Twitter. It was at a 90s con. Fans shout out big money to get pictures with Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon. Unfortunately for the fans, these Hollywood elites refuse to let the normies anywhere near them, forcing them to stand 6 feet away behind a pile of cardboard boxes.
As if the cardboard. What?
Yeah, let me see. Let me do this. All right, so some people in the chat can see what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, what the hell? Why? But like, why even do it? Why even show up? Not the fan. He's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, why would they even participate? Because they're sitting right next to each other.
Mhm.
But yeah, us mortals cannot go near Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon.
It's like, why even do these conventions if you're not going to, like, why go out? Why do these things, these events, if you're not going to,
It looks like the dating game where like the bachelor's like on the other side of the wall. They can't see him. Like that's so that's insulting.
oh, you can't touch Thelma Louise.
But who like? What? Okay, they're very famous actresses, but I'm like, why would you? I don't know. I'm sure there are big fans out there, so they really want to do them. But whatever. Whatever. Someone mentioned Treat Williams. Hold up.
Yeah, rest in peace, Treat.
Rest in peace. And I actually just busted out my. I was watching this the other night.
Oh, that's a fun movie.
Oh, I love this movie. This is my DVD copy from like when this thing came out. And yeah, no, this is about as good as it gets for monster movies.
Oh yeah, that's
CGI is a little bad in some places, doesn't hold up, but I don't care. It's great.
Yeah, and Treat's a lot of fun in that.
He's amazing. He should have been what his role is in this is what I think his career should have been. A lot of leading man roles, wisecracking, John McClane kind of roles. Yeah.
I don't know, Fabio, who would run meet Susan Sarandon?
That's kind of what I was saying, but like, whatever. I'm sure there's someone out there. Oh, Fabio also. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say I'd rather meet Gina Davis because I think she's done more that I've liked.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I also would not give a shit to meet either of them, to be perfectly honest. Like, I certainly wouldn't pay for it. Fabio named off Bridge of Dragons, U.S. SEALs 2, Special Forces, High Voltage. Those are all Isaac Florentine movies as well. All great stuff.
I think I've seen Bridge of Dragons. Isn't Kara Tagawa the villain in that one? Okay, yes. I do remember that one.
Yeah. I don't think it's one of his. It's certainly not one of Dolph's best. It's not one of Isaac Florentine. Not one of my favorites of his, but it's a good one. U.S. SEALs 2 is really good. If you get a chance to see that one.
Hey, Matt. Rainbow Raff is in the house. Yeah, I saw that. We were just talking about that, and
Fabio says people are still doing the barrier photo op. I wonder. Whatever.
Man, okay. So I went to this convention recently, and I'm like, I feel bad for the people that. I mean, I don't just look. Kevin Spacey was there, and
I remember you talking about this.
That's right. I mean, I did see him from 10 feet away, but I'm like, who in their right mind would get a picture with him and then share it on social media?
I mean, because they're so proud.
You can't really share it. I mean, you can't. I mean, it's up to the person, but he, at one time, is a great actor, but that's a whole nother topic.
The like they just had they're having. I've never been. Actually, I take that back. I've been to one convention in my life, and it was for whatever reason I have never been into Star Trek in my life until like it was like a couple weeks after my 30th birthday. I just binge watched all of like Next Generation, Voyager, and all that stuff. So I was like, I'm having a weird midlife crisis. I turned 30, and all of a sudden I get super into Star Trek. It was a very bizarre phase, but I love the older Star Trek. I haven't seen any of this new shit, these new shows, but I watched a lot of those shows. And so they had the big convention, Star Trek convention here in Vegas. I went to that, and it was super fun. And I was still really new, but obviously there's people who've loved Trek, for 50 years, and they're there. So it was really fun. But they have there's some horror convention that's going on in Vegas now, or just ended, or is about to go on. And I've always thought it'd be cool to go, but it just it doesn't do it for me. Meeting people or getting on. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I had fun when I went a month ago, but even then, it's like it seemed like with every celebrity, a picture was like $40-$50. An autograph was about the same thing, and it's like, And I'd rather just like if I ever go again, which I probably will, I may meet like one or two people and then like hit the vendors. You know,
Yeah, that's what I would want to do is like go find some cool rare shit and like some out of print movies or some bootlegs and stuff. That's what I would rather do.
yeah. So
Or hear the people speak. Like, it's always cool if they have and there's someone there who you want to hear tell stories. That would be appealing to me as well.
man, the prices are getting out of control. I mean, just
I've seen Fabio mention that before. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to one in May because this particular one I haven't been to in a couple of years, and it's like an hour away. And I know David Arquette's going to be there, and Tom Arnold.
Oh wow.
So maybe I'll meet David Arquette. I'll just go for him, and
Yeah,
then I like Tom as well. But so we'll see.
that'd be cool.
We touched a little bit on the Crow trailer, and yeah, just
Spoilers, Matt. We both love it. We think it looks fantastic, and we're both going to go see it opening night.
yeah, it's going to top the original.
It's going to be better than Brandon who? No, I'm just joking. That's fun. That's
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Starring
It looked horrible, Matt. We yeah, it looks terrible.
yeah, the 7-Eleven Crow.
Yes.
Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly's the Crow. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly what it looks like. Now I'm scrolling through. Eric asked something about. Oh, go ahead.
Well, the new Alien trailer. Did you see the Alien Romulus?
I didn't see it yet. I saw like right before we got on. I saw that it was up. But I don't know. What did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, I don't know what to make of it, honestly. The last Alien movie that I saw was Alien Covenant, and I thought that was a piece of crap. And
Yeah.
Prometheus, I think I watched, but I don't remember anything about it.
I saw it in theater. I know I saw it in theaters because I've saved every movie ticket stub from like middle school until now. I have a little shoebox that I've kept them all in.
Oh, wow.
And I went through it like 6 months ago, and I saw it in theaters. And I was not a drinker back then, so it's not like I got drunk and forgot about it. So I have no memory of that movie whatsoever. But I saw it, and to hell with it. Like I don't.
Well, I don't know if anybody saw, but apparently Ridley Scott and James Cameron have seen the new Alien movie, and they love it.
Oh,
Alien
man.
Romulus.
Like we trust them.
Yeah. I was just reading about it on Twitter. Yeah, apparently they've already seen it.
Whatever.
Really? The director of the Evil Dead remake is doing it?
What? Is that true?
I think I remember I saw like a text in the trailer, so yeah.
It's ridiculous. Really quick, because Eric asked, forgive me for being pompous, but he asked advice for people who want to pursue the film industry when so many people discourage people from pursuing it.
That's a good question.
And I agree. Like if my daughter ever said I want to go to film school, I'd do everything in my power to talk her out of it too. It's really tough. Like I didn't start making a living at it until I'm in my late 30s now, and it was a lot of hardships and trying to. I would say you don't need to go to school for it. You certainly don't. I'm living proof of it. Most of the people I know who have a real career doing things, again, it's that blue collar mentality. Maybe instead of going to film school and learning theory, maybe go get a degree in something else or forego college completely, learn a trade where you could be on set and go watch people make movies, get paid to work on a crew. And for that kind of stuff, you would have to be in California or New York, but there's movies being made all over the country now where you can go get yourself a steady job, go be a normal person and get a job that pays the bills. And you can go make movies on weekends and shoot it and put it on YouTube like what you do, Eric. Or if you want to be a writer, like I said, between Sector 4 and me doing it for a living, which has only been the last 3-4 years, it was crickets. I didn't make any money at it. But I never gave up. I kept writing. So it's hard work. So I'd say, you don't need to go to school. I would be so against going to film school. I'd say, but that doesn't mean you don't have to work. You have to work real hard. And I would say if you do want to go to college, get a degree in something marketable, go make money doing that, and then pursue it on the side. Because if it doesn't happen until you're almost 40 like me, it's still cool.
Yeah, it's also too like we have a, believe it or not, a film studio that's like 10 minutes away from here.
Really?
It's like nothing big, but it's kind of like hidden in the sticks.
Okay.
And I haven't been out there yet, but just, like I was just thinking about it today. I'm like, I want to check it out. And I don't know if they're looking for hires, but I mean, it's, I will maybe someday like go out there and, do like a tour, look
Yeah.
around, ask
Yeah.
questions.
Or learn, because like, there's studios popping up all throughout the country now. There's all these tax incentives in different states to film there. So
Yeah.
even if you don't live in LA, which I will never live in LA, I probably will live in Las Vegas my whole life. I'm born and raised here. I love it here. I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
And I still can make a living at it. So yeah, there's plenty of other pockets of the country where you don't have to pack up and move to LA, which is another big mistake. A lot of people I know, I went to like high school with, who wanted to be writers or directors and make movies. They just packed up and moved to LA, and after about a year, they ran out of money, and then they came back home, and nothing ever happened. So you don't have to move to LA.
Yeah, that's a good point right there. Yeah. Karloff is 44 and play Frankenstein.
There you go. I'm just like Boris Karloff. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, Wild Man Beyond.
Hey. Da-da-da-da. Oh, I'm reading Rambo Raph's kind of summarization of the trip. I'll watch it as soon as we're done here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing that I'm like, the CGI face huggers, and it's like it's trying so hard to be like the first Alien movie and the tone of it. But you say you did see it like beforehand?
What, the trailer?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I have not. I'll watch it when we're done here. Alex Movie Collector asked if I read Fangoria and Starlight. Yes, all that shit when I was younger. I used to read all that stuff.
I got like a few that I got from the last convention, and like I think I've already showed them, but I got 4 Fangorias and 1 Starlog, so I'm trying to build my collection.
It's yeah, no, it was cool. I used to read that stuff all the time. That's where you would get your news. Got the cool stuff. Action Limeade says living in Las Vegas must be depressing if you're under 21. I don't know, man. I grew up here and I still enjoy it. Like, but I couldn't tell you last time I went to the Strip. Like, when you live in Vegas, you don't. I mean, you could be living the Vegas lifestyle and going to the Strip and going to clubs, but that ain't me. I couldn't tell you. It's been a very long time since I've been down there. So
Yeah, I've been to Vegas. The last time I've been was like, I was like 11.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I have the whole home video of it on my computer here of that vacation. And but yeah, my parents were like, don't look at the sidewalk, because you see like dirty magazines on the sidewalk and stuff.
Well, they have the guys who hand out the little porno flyers.
Yeah.
For the strippers to come to your room. But again, that's on the Strip. Like, I live way off the Strip, so there's no porn peddlers walking around the neighborhoods here. It's just a nice little where I live in Vegas used to literally be like the edge of town. So like if you looked that way, you'd see the city and the Strip. But if you turn around and look that way, it was Tremors. It was Perfection, Nevada. It was just like desert and nothing. So that's where I use. But now the city's grown so much that I'm kind of encapsulated a little bit more where I live. But yeah, no porn peddlers here. If you ever post that video on YouTube, I watch. What year was it that you came out here?
It was November 2000. I have the whole thing and I can post it.
I'd watch it.
If you want to see 11-year-old me act like a fool, so well, it's up to you guys. Do you guys want to see it?
Well, I'd like to see old Vegas stuff like that. Action Limeade says you don't go to casinos. I do, but off the Strip. There's plenty of casinos that aren't on the Strip, and like. I don't know if this will sound bizarre to y'all, but like when I was in high school and you go see a movie, the movie theaters are in the casinos. So like you would go to, if you wanted to go bowling, you went to the casino. If you want, so when I say I go to the casino, I ain't going to gamble or booze it. I do sometimes, but not every time. I'll go bowling, or if that's where you go see a movie. That's where you go, because most movie theaters here are inside the casinos.
But well,
Uh,
when we went to Vegas, we stayed at the Luxor,
hmm
and I mean, I remember going to like the Eiffel Tower thing,
Yeah,
whatever that is. Yeah, and then
in Paris. Yeah.
the fountain, we saw that, and which a lot of that's on that video. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
said, if you guys want to see it, I mean, there's some family in there, so I don't know if you'll be bored by it or if you'll find it. It's embarrassing for me a little bit because I'm acting up in several points. But
Yeah, I like seeing older Vegas. It's kind of always nostalgic for me.
and it was around the time of the election, the Bush and Kerry. That's how old it is.
No,
I
Bush.
mean,
That was
24
Bush
years ago.
Gore.
What's that?
Bush Gore.
No, it was a Bush Gore. Yeah, that's right. John Kerry was '04, right? Yeah,
Yeah, but that was like the recount year, wasn't it? 2000. If I
2000.
remember.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Sure.
The roller coaster? No, I don't.
Is he talking about the one around the stratosphere?
I mean, I never went on it. Have you been on it?
No. Like I mean, honest to God, like when you're in high school, like for prom or for dances, you take your date to go see a Cirque du Soleil show and a nice dinner on the strip. Other than that, I mean, since end of high school, I've probably been to the strip a dozen times. And it's usually when people come visit because they want to go see that, and I just
Uh, y- yeah, we talked about that too earlier, a little bit.
is it really coming out this Friday?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't realize it was that soon.
yeah. I couldn't. I'm like, is it already coming out? Because like, I haven't heard anything like any. I mean, I seen trailers in the promotion, but no like buzz or what's said or reviews.
Yeah, no, I mean, I will see it, but I don't have high hope. Junebug said, "Did you know Marky Mark is trying to make New Hollywood in Vegas?" I think that's dead. I don't know if that's still happening, but I know that was a big deal for a while. I don't know if it will happen or if it's kind of floundered already. But I mean, there's always been people trying to do PM Entertainment, who we've already mentioned on the stream a few times.
Yeah.
I can't go 5 minutes without mentioning PM Entertainment.
Oh no, you're good. Hey,
They were they were based
gives
in
me a
Vegas.
reason to watch more of PM
Yeah,
Entertainment. So
yeah. But they started in Vegas, which is weird to think. But yeah, so there's always been kind of a Vegas trying to do stuff. The Hangover made it real big for a while, and then Paul Blart did like a sequel in Vegas, I
oh,
think. Yeah, so they're always trying to do Hollywood in Vegas, but
now is there? Now I've only seen one PM Entertainment movies. Is there some others that you recommend for for me to watch or that?
yes. Most of the ones with Gary Daniels are good, especially the ones that start with the letter R. He did like three in the span of a few years called Rage, Riot, and Recoil. I think I got them out of order, but Rage is, you got to see Rage with Gary Daniels from PM Entertainment. Recoil is really good. Uh, Cyber Tracker with Don the Dragon Wilson. I like Cyber Tracker 2, actually. And T-Force. There's a movie called T-Force. It's kind of Universal Soldier, but low budget.
Okay.
Classic. Love T-Force. You got to see that one too. So there's a bunch, man.
Is Billy Blanks in that one? Or am I thinking about
No,
something else?
no, he's not in that one, but he's done many cyborg movies. He did one called he did one called TC 2000.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Yeah, T-Force TC 2000. So very similar, but yeah, I think he did. I'm pretty sure he had to have done something with PM Entertainment. I just can't think off the top of my head. But yeah,
Well, he's a screenwriter. Wow,
I'm a
man.
screenwriter, man. Yeah, I write Lifetime movies for the most part right now, and Tubi a little bit. I've written a couple Tubi originals. So if anyone out there watches Lifetime channel, I'm sure not many do, but many of this audience, which is fine. I'm not offended. So no hard feelings if no one's seen anything I've made, which is totally understandable. I have a movie coming out tomorrow on Lifetime. The one thing I don't like about these Lifetime movies is they always give them the stupidest titles possible. They're very on the nose and stupid titles. So the movie I have coming out tomorrow is called My Father's Murder in Greece. which tells you exactly what the movie's about. That comes out tomorrow. And then on Saturday, I have another one coming out called Surviving the Sleepover, which is another really stupid title, but it's a straight up horror movie, man. It's about a bunch of girls at a sleepover and people start dying, about a bunch of like high school girls. So it's kind of like Mean Girls at a sleepover and people start getting stabbed and killed. So that one I think is fun. And that's on Saturday. They premiere. The strike, because there was that big strike last year.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of movies that were either starting or about to start, and the strike killed everything. And then they all picked up at the same time. So, I mean, we're in March, and I've already had 2 movies come out. I have 2 more this week, and then I have 1 in April. So in the span of like 5 months, I have 5 movies coming out.
Oh, wow.
All because of the strike. Kind of bottlenecked everything. So
sounds like you got your plate full.
Well, it sounds like it, but this is the span of like a year and a half's worth of work. So it's not a lot. It's not actually a lot in a row, but it feels that way. So it's cool.
That's awesome, man. Now, do you know the premiere times of those movies that are this weekend?
8 p.m. Well, my time. So I don't know if it should be like 8 p.m.
So you're Central.
I'm Pacific.
Pacific. So you're 3 hours, 11 p.m. Eastern time. You're 3 hours behind me.
Yeah. You can look it up. It'll be on. I actually think the sleepover movies, if you go to Lifetime Channel's website, it's on the front page of their website, which is so ridiculous. But the times are on there. And the cool thing with these movies is the day after they air, they go on like streaming for free. So if you don't happen to catch it, or if you don't have cable anymore, which hardly anyone does, you can just stream it if you're so inclined. Recoil with Gary Daniels is a pretty damn good one. Bruh Stipe. How do you say his username?
Bruh Stipe. I think that's it.
He agreed with Recoil. That's a damn good one. I agree.
That's a good question.
That happens a lot. I've been lucky in the last few years with my Lifetime stuff. Again, they're not my dream projects necessarily. Like I said, my dream would be to write a great throwback 90s direct-to-video action movie. But for the Lifetime stuff, they've been really respectful. And I mentioned it earlier, I don't think I've ever actually been fired or completely rewritten. There's been a few times where like they'll bring on, like the director will do a pass on the script before they go shoot and they change some stuff. And sometimes it's better and then you look great. And then sometimes it's worse and you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
But aside from Sector 4 and my Olivia Gruner films, I've not had a script completely thrown out. But I think those movies turned out so bad that it's obvious it wasn't just the writer's fault. It was a lot of people's faults that those turned out bad. Particularly the man in the saddle. Mr. Bruner's not the best filmmaker. I think he's a great actor, and for what he does, he's about as good as they come for that kind of action star, but I don't think he's a great director. So that's probably the only time I've had something thrown out. But my Lifetime movies, there'll be moments where, because tomorrow when I watch this one coming out, when I watch it on TV with my wife, that'll be the first time I see it. Like, I don't get to see these movies until they come out. Like, when you send off your final draft, you're kind of done. And then you're lucky if you know when it's coming out. So, sometimes I'll be watching these movies. Last year I did a rewrite on a movie. It was a killer lifeguard movie. It was basically like Friday the 13th meets Baywatch.
What a combination.
But again, they like, these companies will come to me and say like, hey, we want to do a killer lifeguard movie. Are you interested? And I'm like, yes, I am so interested in that. And so, it's a ridiculous movie, and I'm watching it with my wife for the first time, and they added like a super graphic sex scene, like way more graphic than I thought you could get away with on cable. And my wife is looking at me like, you wrote this? I'm like, I did not write a sex scene at all. Like, but they added it. So my wife thinks I'm a pornographer because it's this dirty sex scene in a killer lifeguard movie.
Was it on the beach?
It was in a swimming pool, not the beach.
Come on.
But it was, see? But yeah, so sometimes they'll make changes and you're like, what the hell?
So you'll do like a few more questions and
sure, yeah,
wrap up.
Yeah.
So, well, real quick on this one, what are your thoughts on the Will Smith?
He's an idiot, and I hope if his career's dead, then that's fine with me. costumes. Yeah, that's what I was just reading. No, he doesn't. What gave you that idea? Yes, he does.
Oh boy. Yeah, Rich talked about a couple earlier that he's worked with and stuff.
I mean, the biggest names in my movies. Well, actually, hold on, really quick. And I'm gonna mess up her name, but it was a big thrill for me. I did a movie last year, which is probably my favorite Lifetime movie I've done, because it's I think a movie that could be enjoyed by not just middle-aged women who watch Lifetime. It's again, terrible title. The title was Abducted on Prom Night, but it's basically Collateral, kinda, in a prom limo, where basically the limo driver takes a bunch of kids hostage in his prom limo and locks them in the back and kidnaps them and holds them hostage. So very Collateral-y. It's kind of a thriller, and there's some good stunts in it too. I was actually really happy with that movie. But the mom in that movie was an actress named Karen Cleesh, who I did not know until several months later. She was great in my prom movie, and then I put on Thanksgiving, the Eli Roth movie, which I actually really dug, and she's the lady who gets killed and put in the oven. She had like a pretty major role in that movie, and she's been around for a long time. She was on like some syndicated shows in the early 2000s that I kind of recognize her for. She's a gorgeous woman. But seeing her, in my movie, and then a few months later, she's in Thanksgiving. I thought that was kind of made me feel cool because that was a big movie.
I still have to watch Thanksgiving. That's on my.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Warlock, I've never seen, but I've heard of. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's a good one. It's worth watching. It's not like one I put on a ton, but it's worth seeing.
And I think there was 3 of them, right?
Yes, because one's Armageddon, I think. I forget, but yeah, there's at least 2 or 3.
And rest in peace, Julian Sands.
Yes, that's so crazy. Don't care.
I knew you were gonna say that, man.
Couldn't give a shit. Howard the Duck. That's it. That's all I'll say. Just make a Howard the Duck movie and then kill the studio.
I'm with you on that one.
Actually, go back and watch the old Howard the Duck movie, because that is a good movie in my opinion. But I love the old Punisher 2004 is one of my favorites.
That's a great one, yeah.
Daredevil 2003. I mean, I went ape shit for that movie when it came out.
Yeah, I saw it too when it came out in theaters. I think it was like February of that year.
It came out around my birthday, because I remember for my birthday, me and my buddies went to go see, and then my birthday's in February. Went to go see Daredevil, and the extended cut of that, I think, is a masterpiece of comic book filmmaking. I love it. But see, that's the thing that sucks, is I love that kind of era. And then when the whole Marvel verse thing happened, I kind of dug it in the beginning, but so don't care anymore.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And the soundtrack too. I love the soundtrack.
I have it. Yes, I have the CD soundtrack for the Punisher and Daredevil. I saw the CD cases. The CDs are missing. I don't know what happened to them, but I have the cases. I have them displayed on my shelf in the garage because I like looking at them.
Here's a question from Wildman.
So many things with screenwriting is like, that's not the way it works. But I could tell you that's not the way it works, but then someone out there is going to do exactly what you just said, and it works out. The way I wrote a movie for Olivier Gruner was, I was working in a Best Buy over the summer, and Olivier Gruner walks into the store, and I introduced myself as a fan, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to shoot a movie soon." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm in film school. I want to be a screenwriter." He's like, "Oh, I'll give you a call." And then 6 months later, I hadn't heard from him. He called me. It was like at 3 a.m., which is Gruner's a very eccentric guy. One day I'll tell all my stories about him. But it was like 3:15 a.m. I get a phone call, and it's like, "This is Olivier Gruner." And I was like, "Is this a prank call, or is this actually Olivier Gruner calling?" But he called me because I met him at Best Buy. He remembered I want to be a screenwriter. I gave him my number, and he's like, "You want to write a movie about mercenaries?" And so I wrote a mercenary movie for him. So, one piece of advice would be go work in a Best Buy, and hopefully an action star comes in. But with all my Lifetime stuff, where I've actually made a living writing movies, It all started through a contest. I entered a screenplay I wrote during COVID, like during the shutdowns. I just decided to write all day, every day, and I wrote a script really quick.
Mhm.
And it was a thriller with a female lead. Wasn't intentional at all to do Lifetime movies, but one of the judges in the contest was a producer who was about to direct like 3 movies for Lifetime. He loved my script and took it to the company, and a week later they bought it. And ever since then, it's been a snowball. So that came from a contest. And you can find a million of those online. So if you write a really good screenplay, you can enter contests. You can go on IMDb and find a producer who makes lower budgeted movies. Maybe, you're not going to get in touch with Jerry Bruckheimer,
Yeah.
but you can get in touch with a smaller producer and say, hey, I got this script. It's similar to the genre you do. Would you be willing to read it? Find them on Twitter, send them a message, email them. Like, it's so anything. It's the Wild West trying to sell screenplays. And so whatever works, man. But the hardest thing is writing a good screenplay. And you may think you have a good screenplay, but a lot of times you don't. I thought I had lots of great screenplays, but I'm sure most of the ones that I haven't, that are unproduced, there's a reason. But you fall in love with what you write and you think it's good, but get feedback, send it to people, and make it better. And hopefully someone wants to make it.
That's good advice, though.
Sorry, I'm being very soapboxy.
Oh, no, you're good. Hey, look, I mean, you're my guest. So, I mean, that's why, I don't mind giving you the floor. I mean, yeah, Best Buy doesn't sell movies anymore.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
I haven't been there in like 2 years. Yeah, we'll do one more question. And
Okay.
Whoever asks, let's see, or if there's like a question that I missed or something.
Wild Man said, thanks for the advice. John McClane. That's part where he's under the table.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the advice.
I think Bruce Willis just turned 69, and yeah, I heard that he's not doing too well. It's just
Yeah, I heard it's the decline's kind of coming on quick, which is super sad. Real sad.
Starman. I know about the movie, but that's it. Okay, here's a good one. Who was the best James Bond?
Dalton. Timothy Dalton.
I'll go with Pierce. I mean, he was the first one for me, but yeah, Dalton's a great one.
I don't think there's a bad one in the bunch. I don't think there's one where I'm like, oh, I hate him. But the Timothy Dalton movies are the ones that when I was younger I rewatched the most. So I would go with them.
Okay.
With him.
But yeah, I think that's it for this. And yeah, thank you, Rich, for coming on. And like I said, I'm sorry if I sound a little off. It's just the allergies.
No, man, and sorry if I rambled too much. Hopefully people weren't annoyed with me.
Oh no, you're totally fine, man. And I would glad to have you on again, and maybe we can, collab in the future for a commentary or a discussion or something.
Would love that. Absolutely, man.
And thank you to everybody out there who chimed in the chat there. And we're definitely going to do this again.
100%.
And when Rich has time. And thank you, man, for being here.
Absolutely, man. It was a lot of fun.
And thank you all again. And thank you for watching.
Take care, guys.